Hey up everybody, how the devil are we all doing? It's Training Naughty Gerbils, and in this video I've got another top 5 camp locations for you. Now chances are you may have seen these in some of my other videos if you've been unfortunate enough to watch them, but I thought I'd throw together a list of my all-time favourites. So let's stop knobbing around and take a ganders at them, shall we? For our first spot, we're down at the bottom of the map, just near this giant bear here. If you like water, if you like forest, and you don't like seeing other players, this spot is going to be absolutely bloody perfect for you. Now the lake down here is absolutely bloody massive. There's a lot of spaces that you can build, but I would recommend building on this bank over here. Can you see it there near my camp module? Beautiful. The land's pretty flat over there and the water's quite shallow, so you can get a bit of a structure on land and some out in the middle of the lake if you want to. I'm going to leave a floaty card at top corner of the screen now to show you some idea of what you can build here. I'll be doing this with all the other locations as well. But anyhow, let's get on to the enemies that spawn here. There's actually very little, to be honest with you. I've had a couple of mole rats and some liberators across the pond, so nothing too tricky to deal with at all. And like I always say, guys, if you pull your gun out and you shoot at an enemy, they do something miraculous, they die. And I've always found that's quite a useful tactic to stop them from fucking shooting back at you. All in all, an absolutely fantastic location. The lack of enemies and the absolutely beautiful scenery, plus the easiness to build here, it's definitely earned a spot in the top 5. For our second location, we're in the forest and we're just near the Flatwoods Lookout. And if you're the kind of person that likes the views of an unnaturally green forest in a post-apocalyptic wasteland, this spot's perfect for you. The build area itself isn't massive, but you can get a decent sized camp down here. Granted, it's not going to be some form of frigging ginormous palace, but it's more than enough space for people who aren't megalomaniacs. The land itself is pretty smooth. Now, I will say, you need to put your camp module right at the edge of this rocky outcrop here. Now, yes, sometimes, because it's so close to the edge of the cliff, when you load into your camp, it may propel you off it. But to be honest with you, the camp module's that broken in relevance to where it spawns you in, you have just as much chance of spawning in on the other side of the bloody map. You may think that isn't possible, but we are in Fallout 76 and I've seen stranger things happen. Enemies wise, again, there's not much here. You do get things like scorch, mole rats, ghouls, but the frequency of them spawning is minimal. I've actually had my main in-game camp here for a good couple of months now, and I can probably count on 2 hands how many times I've been attacked here. It's honestly not a problem, but anyway, we're here for the view, aren't we? So here it is in all its glory. In my opinion, probably one of the best viewpoints in the entire game, even though it's probably not scientifically accurate. But then again, we are in a universe where there's a piss robot who makes alcoholic beverages, so yeah. Location Trez, we are in Charleston, and there's actually 2 pretty good spots you can build here. The first spot is right next to this little Nuka-Cola wall here. It's absolutely perfect for shops. It's not a large area, but you can get some pretty cool structures down here. And if you're feeling extra decadent, do you see that brick building there with a little rooftop on it? You do? Simply lovely. You can build on top of that as well. It's a tricky bastard, but I have seen some pretty cool shit up there. Now then, if we turn around and take a look behind us, this is the second spot, and you're probably looking at it thinking, what the bloody hell is that? It looks terrible. But just hold on to them reins. That vertibird, it isn't always there. It's a random spawn. So the whole entire area there is free to build on. It's quite smooth. There is some dippy places, but trust me, it's really not that difficult to build there. Dead easy. And it's a bloody massive area too. Enemies wise, the worst I've seen around here is feral ghouls. You do get the occasional dog that charges up at you and tries to munch on your bollocks, but it's really not too bad, especially if you're married, because your wife usually has your bollocks in her handbag anyway, so it's fine. In my opinion, another bloody good location, especially if you're into shops or immersive builds. If you stick with that kind of theme, it'll fit in perfectly round here. For our next location, we're next to Lake Yard. And the best thing about this spot, it's flatter than a witch's tit, and if that offends you, I do apologise. Nope, I really don't. Another plus point about it is it's right next to a road, so if you're one of these people that likes to create a build that, you know, makes sense, i.e. the structure has some form of access to it, not a big bloody hotel at middle of woods somewhere, then this one's going to suit you right down to the ground. It's really easy to build here because the ground's so flat, you've got a decent space to work with, and there's literally hardly any enemies. Again, the biggest thing you're going to get here is mole rats. Maybe the occasional scorch, but the spawn rate of any enemy here is actually quite low. Another positive this location as well, if you could call it that, is the view. And I think Bethesda took inspiration for this from any northern seaside town. Newgad is literally a direct replica of Blackpool, even down to the super mutant. I know that a lot of my British subscribers will understand what I'm making making a reference to, but for anybody else in other parts of the world, all you gotta know is Blackpool is a fucking shithole. Anyhow, now that I've offended an entire town, we're gonna wrap this spot up and move on to our last location. Now this place is bloody legendary. I know a lot of you are looking at this now thinking, yep, I know where this is, and good on you. You have truly experienced one of the best camp building locations in the entire fucking game. And for that I applaud you wholeheartedly. For those who haven't seen this, take a ganders. Take a look at that, you see. How simply lovely is that? You got this lake here, you got the woods, you got the cliff at the back, proper wildernessy kind of area. Another perfect spot for the log cabin connoisseurs out there. And of course, for the people that don't like interacting with other human beings, no bugger's gonna visit you down here. As well as looking bloody fantastic, it is relatively easy to build in. You can get some, structures on the bank as well as in the water. And again, you don't tend to see many enemies down here. Granted, I have seen super mutants, and once I had a scorch beast here for no apparent reason, but that was a long bloody time ago, to be honest with you. I don't know if the recent updates have changed the spawn rates or they're still the same. Christ knows. Another bonus this location has is just towards the end of this cliff over here, so we're just gonna, this game is broken our way over there, and we're just gonna take a few seconds to appreciate how fantastic this view is. Now, I don't mind admiring the cranberry bog from the distance, like some form of venomous creature, a snake, a tarantula, or a rhinoceros, you get the gist. As long as I don't have to be within a couple of feet of it, I'm more than happy to appreciate it. There's an added bonus, you also get to see nukes being dropped on the Scorch Queen from here, which is beautiful in its own right. Who doesn't like the burning glow of nuclear missiles in the morning? Anyway guys, that wraps it up from me. I hope you liked the video. If you did, you know what to do. Hit that like button and let me bloody well know. And of course, if you want to see more weekly Fallout 76 content, hit that subscribe button too. As ever, I'd like to say a massive thank you to my patrons. The extra support is really appreciated. Can't thank you enough. And if any of you guys also want to get involved with that, the link's down in the description along with my Discord link. Again, if you want to take a ganders at the Discord, just click on the link, it'll take you there. You know what to bloody do. As we say in the north, I shall love you and leave you guys, and I will catch you in the next one. Have bloody fun.